Have you ever faced something so big, so terrifying, that your legs refused to move? A moment when your heart pounded like a war drum, and every voice around you said, "You can't win?" This is the story of such a moment. But it doesn't begin with a hero or a sword, it begins with fear. Real fear. The kind that makes grown men hide behind rocks. The kind that silences even the boldest voices. We all face giants in life, fears, failures, doubts, but sometimes the greatest strength doesn't come from the outside. It comes from within. Picture this: a battlefield in the valley of Elah. In a dusty valley tucked between the rolling hills of Judah, the air hangs thick with dread. Day after day, the same scene plays out like a nightmare. A monstrous warrior steps out from the enemy ranks, shouting curses and challenges that echo through the hills. He is Goliath, nearly 10 feet tall, his massive body wrapped in bronze armor, a javelin strapped across his back like a tree trunk. His helmet gleams under the sun, and his eyes scan the Israelite army with smug contempt. Not a single soldier dares to face him. For 40 days, the Israelites have trembled under his voice. The once proud warriors hide behind tents and rocks, hoping someone else will rise, but no one does. Why? Because fear is louder than faith. But far away, in the fields of Bethlehem, a young shepherd named David tends his sheep, unaware that he is about to walk into history. He's not a warrior, he's not a giant, he's just a boy with a sling, a few stones, and an unshakable trust in God. This is the untold truth of David and Goliath, not just a tale of victory, but a story of how faith defeats fear. Goliath of Gath wasn't just tall, he was terrifying. 6 cubits in a span, that's nearly 10 feet of flesh, muscle, and rage. His bronze coat weighed more than most men. His spear's iron tip alone could pierce through any shield. But it wasn't just his size that made armies tremble. It was his voice. Each morning, he'd descend into the valley with the confidence of a man who had never known defeat. "Send me a man!" he'd roar, his voice deep and echoing. "If he kills me, we will be your servants. But if I kill him," and here he'd pause with a smirk, "you will be ours." And every morning, Israel's warriors would look to one another and step back, because fear paralyzes even the strongest when faith is forgotten. Meanwhile, far from the battlefield, a teenage boy walks a quiet trail through golden fields. His hands carry supplies, bread and cheese for his older brothers at war. His clothes are simple: a short wool tunic, a leather belt, and worn sandals. His hair is dark, shoulder length, and tousled by the breeze. His eyes are curious, sharp, and peaceful. This is David, the youngest son of Jesse. To the world, he's just a shepherd, but to heaven, he's a warrior in the making. Doesn't know it yet, but God has chosen him to change everything. When David reaches the camp, chaos is in the air. Soldiers rush past him, whispering rumors. Goliath's out again. No one dares face him. David follows the crowd, his heart pounding, and then he sees Goliath for the first time. It's like watching a mountain move, but David doesn't flinch. He listens to the giant's insults, the curses against God, and something inside him burns, not with fear, but with fury. Who is this uncircumcised Philistine, David demands, that he should defy the armies of the living God? People laugh. "Go home, boy," they say. "You don't belong here." But David's not laughing, because when you have faith, mockery doesn't matter. Word spreads quickly, and David is brought before King Saul, a tall man with a troubled gaze, dressed in royal armor. He sees a boy and hears bravery but doubts. "You're just a youth," Saul says. He's been a warrior since his youth. But David's voice is steady. "I fought lions and bears to protect my sheep. The Lord who saved me then will save me now." Saul looks into David's eyes and sees something strange: unshakable certainty. He offers his armor, but David refuses. It's too heavy, too foreign. All David needs is his sling, his staff, and 5 smooth stones. The sun hangs high as David steps into the valley. No helmet, no sword, just a sling in his hand and a pouch at his side. The entire Israelite army watches in stunned silence as he walks toward the Colossus. Dust swirls around his feet. The wind hums through the valley. From the Philistine side, Goliath squints and then laughs, a loud, scornful laugh that echoes off the stone walls. "Am I a dog," he growls, "that you come at me with sticks?" He curses David by his gods. He doesn't see a threat. He sees an insult. But David's gaze never wavers. "You come at me with a sword, a spear, and a javelin," David shouts, "but I come at you in the name of the Lord of heaven's armies." It's no longer about size or strength. It's about faith. David runs forward, fast and fearless. Goliath roars and moves toward him like a thundercloud. The ground trembles. Every step the giant takes kicks up dust and dread. And David reaches into his pouch and draws one smooth stone. His fingers are steady. His heart is sure. He spins the sling over his head. 1, 2, 3, then silence. And release. The stone flies like lightning. It strikes Goliath between the eyes with a crack that silences the valley. His giant body stumbles, his arms spread wide, then he falls, face first, like a felled tree. The earth shakes, and so does every heart that witnesses it. Goliath, the undefeated warrior, the terror of Israel, lies dead. Not by a sword, not by an army, but by the hand of a boy who believed. The Philistines panic. They turn and flee. Israel's soldiers, once paralyzed by fear, now charge forward with a victory cry. But David doesn't gloat. He walks calmly to the giant's body. He lifts Goliath's own sword and finishes what the stone began. This is more than a battle won. It's a fear defeated. David didn't win because he was stronger. He won because he believed when no one else did. He saw not with eyes, but with faith. And when faith leads, giants fall. The giant was defeated, not by a sword, not by strength, but by faith. And David's story lives on, reminding us that with faith, no giant is too big. David returns not as a shepherd, but as a hero, but even more as a man of faith. From that day forward, his name is known throughout the land. But David never forgets what truly won the battle. Not the sling, not the stone, but his trust in God. Because courage without faith is fragile. But faith can move mountains, even 10-foot ones. The story of David and Goliath isn't just about an underdog winning. It's a reminder that real strength doesn't come from what we hold in our hands, but from what we carry in our hearts. It's about the courage to stand up when everyone else hides. It's about trusting God more than the odds. And it's about you, because we all face giants: fear, doubt, anxiety, rejection, loneliness. But when we meet those giants with faith, they fall. Maybe not instantly, maybe not easily, but they fall, just like Goliath did. So the next time fear whispers that you're not enough, remember David. Remember the valley. Remember the stone. And remember that faith doesn't always make you feel fearless. It just helps you move forward anyway. Before you go, I want to remind you of something powerful. You might not be the tallest, the strongest, or the loudest, but with faith, you're more than enough. Thank you for watching David and Goliath: How Faith Defeats Fear. If this story inspired you, please kindly consider giving a little support by subscribing to the channel. It helps more people discover these stories, and maybe helps them slay their own giants too. David's story is not just about a battlefield long ago. It's a story for today. It's a story for you. Because the giants we face may not wear armor or carry swords, but they still shout. They still mock. They still try to make us feel small. But remember this: victory doesn't belong to the strong. It belongs to the faithful. Your sling may look small, but in God's hands, it's mighty. Faith is not the absence of fear. It's the decision to keep moving anyway. You don't have to be the biggest to win. You just have to believe. So if this story moved you, if you faced your own giants, or are standing in the valley right now, don't leave without showing some love. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family of brave hearts and faithful warriors. Your support helps us tell more powerful stories that inspire, uplift, and remind the world that faith still wins. Until next time, stay strong, stay faithful, face fear, and never stop believing. Keep walking forward. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another inspiring adventure.